Hey everyone, it's Treasure of, and today we're tackling a topic that gets a lot of heat: ultra-processed foods. When you hear that term, you probably picture things like sugary sodas, greasy chips, and instant noodles. And for good reason. A lot of these foods are packed with unhealthy fats, sugars, and sodium. But here's something that might surprise you. Not all ultra-processed foods are created equal. In fact, some of them can actually be part of a healthy, balanced diet. It's a nuanced conversation, and it's one we need to have, because these foods are everywhere, and shaming people for eating them isn't helping anyone. The conversation is shifting, and even major health organizations are starting to acknowledge this complexity. New research highlighted by the American Heart Association is digging into the data, and what they're finding is fascinating. They analyzed dietary patterns and health outcomes and discovered that certain categories of ultra-processed foods don't carry the same health risks as others. This isn't about giving a free pass to all junk food. Instead, it's about being smart, informed consumers who can navigate the grocery store aisles with confidence, not fear. It's about understanding the why behind the nutritional advice. So, in this video, we're going to dive deep into this new perspective. I'm going to walk you through 8 specific ultra-processed foods that, according to this emerging research, can be considered healthy options. These are items that can save you time, add crucial nutrients to your diet, and support your overall health goals, especially when you're busy. We'll break down what makes them different, how to choose the best versions, and how you can incorporate them into your meals. Let's get into it and separate the facts from the fear. First up, let's talk about something many of us already have in our pantries: lightly salted and flavored nuts, seeds, and legumes. Think about those pre-portioned bags of almonds, roasted chickpeas, or sunflower seeds. Yes, they've been processed, roasted, maybe seasoned, but that doesn't automatically make them unhealthy. These foods are nutritional powerhouses. They're packed with healthy monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which are fantastic for your heart health. They also provide a solid dose of plant-based protein and fiber, a combination that helps keep you feeling full and satisfied, which can prevent you from reaching for less healthy snacks later on. The key here is in the details, and this is where being a savvy consumer comes into play. You want to look for options that are lightly salted or flavored. Check the nutrition label for the sodium content. A little bit is fine, but you want to avoid the ones that are caked in salt or sugar-based glazes. The convenience factor is huge. Having a healthy, nutrient-dense snack ready to go can be a lifesaver on a busy day. It's a far better choice than a candy bar or a bag of chips. So, don't be afraid of these processed snacks. Just be smart about which ones you choose. And moving on to number 2, we have low-sodium canned beans and legumes. I know some people turn their noses up at canned goods, thinking fresh is always better. But let's be realistic. Not everyone has the time to soak and cook dried beans from scratch. Canned beans like chickpeas, black beans, and lentils are an incredibly convenient and affordable way to boost the nutritional value of your meals. They are an excellent source of plant-based protein and, maybe most importantly, dietary fiber. We know that fiber is crucial for digestive health, managing blood sugar levels, and lowering cholesterol. The processing here actually makes the nutrients more accessible and, of course, saves you a ton of time in the kitchen. The most important thing to watch out for is sodium. Many canned products are loaded with salt for preservation. That's why you should always look for labels that say low sodium or no salt added. If you can't find those, a simple trick is to thoroughly rinse the beans under running water before you use them. This can wash away up to 40% of the added sodium. So go ahead, stock up your pantry. They're perfect for adding to salads, soups, and tacos for a quick and healthy meal. Next on our list is another canned staple: low-sodium canned tuna, salmon, or even chicken packed in water. These are fantastic sources of lean protein, which is essential for building and repairing tissues, making enzymes and hormones, and is a critical building block of our bodies. Having these on hand makes it incredibly easy to whip up a high-protein lunch or dinner without any cooking required. Think a quick tuna salad sandwich on whole grain bread, or adding flaked salmon to a leafy green salad. It's a simple way to ensure you're meeting your protein needs, especially on those days when you have zero energy to cook. What makes canned fish, particularly fatty fish like salmon and tuna, so special is their omega-3 fatty acid content. These are essential fats that have been extensively studied for their benefits to heart and brain health. They can help reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and decrease triglycerides. The crucial factor when you're at the grocery store is to choose varieties packed in water instead of oil to keep the fat content down. And just like with beans, always opt for the low sodium or no salt added versions. This small choice makes a huge difference in turning a convenient food into a genuinely healthy one. Let's talk about something sweet, unsweetened dried fruit. Things like raisins, apricots, dates, and figs often get a bad rap because they're high in sugar and calories. And while that's true, it's important to remember that the sugar is naturally occurring, not added. The drying process concentrates the sugars and nutrients from the original fruit, making them a dense source of energy, fiber, vitamins, and minerals like potassium and iron. They can be a great way to satisfy a sweet craving without reaching for candy or baked goods filled with refined sugars and unhealthy fats. The word to focus on here is unsweetened. Many commercially available dried fruits have a ton of added sugar to make them even sweeter and act as a preservative. You have to become a label detective. Look at the ingredient list. It should just say one thing: the fruit itself. Maybe a preservative like sulfur dioxide, which is generally considered safe. But there should be no added sugars, syrups, or fruit juice concentrate. Because they are calorie-dense, portion control is key. A small handful is all you need to get the benefits and a burst of natural sweetness. They're perfect for adding to oatmeal, yogurt, or trail mix. Carb lovers, rejoice! Number 5 is low-sodium whole grain breads and crackers. Bread is one of the most common processed foods we eat, but the type of bread you choose makes all the difference. Whole grain breads are made with the entire grain kernel, the bran, germ, and endosperm, which means they retain all the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. This is in stark contrast to white bread, which is made from refined flour that has had the bran and germ stripped away, taking most of the nutrients with it. The fiber in whole grains is a game changer for your health. It helps with digestion, keeps you feeling full longer, and plays a significant role in maintaining a healthy heart by helping to manage cholesterol and blood pressure. When you're shopping, don't be fooled by marketing terms like multigrain or wheat bread, which can still be made primarily from refined flour. Look for the words 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat as the first ingredient on the list. And, just like our other healthy processed foods, keep an eye on the sodium content. Some breads can pack a surprising amount of salt, so compare brands and pick the one with the lower number. Let's head to the breakfast aisle for number 6 high-fiber cereal with minimal sweeteners. The cereal aisle can be a nutritional minefield, with boxes of cartoon-covered sugar bombs masquerading as a healthy start to the day. However, hidden among them are some genuinely excellent choices that can be a fantastic part of your diet. A good high-fiber cereal can be one of the easiest ways to ensure you're getting enough fiber, which, as we've discussed, is incredibly important for heart health, gut health, and overall wellness. Many Americans don't get anywhere near the recommended daily amount of fiber. The trick is to ignore the flashy claims on the front of the box and go straight to the nutrition facts panel on the side. You're looking for 2 key things. First, a high fiber content. Aim for at least 5 grams of fiber per serving. Second, a low sugar content. Try to find cereals with less than 5 or 6 grams of sugar per serving and check the ingredient list to make sure sugar or high fructose corn syrup isn't one of the first few items. Cereals made from whole grains like oats, bran, or shredded wheat are usually your best bet. Pair it with some milk or yogurt and fresh fruit for a balanced, heart-healthy breakfast. Next up, we have a category that has exploded in popularity: plant-based meat and dairy alternatives, specifically options like soy milk and tofu. For people who are vegetarian, vegan, lactose intolerant, or just looking to reduce their consumption of animal products, these processed foods are invaluable. Tofu, which is made from soybeans, is an incredible source of complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids our bodies need. It's also extremely versatile. You can bake it, fry it, or blend it into smoothies. It's a fantastic canvas for flavor. Similarly, fortified soy milk can be a great alternative to cow's milk. When you choose a fortified version, you're getting a beverage that's not only rich in protein, but also has added calcium and vitamin D, nutrients that are crucial for bone health. Now, the plant-based world is vast, and not all products are healthy. Some plant-based burgers or cheeses can be just as high in sodium and saturated fat as their animal-based counterparts. But simpler, less processed options like plain tofu, tempeh, and unsweetened fortified soy milk are excellent, nutrient-dense choices that can easily fit into a healthy eating pattern. Last but certainly not least, we have frozen produce. That's right, the fruits and vegetables in the freezer aisle are considered processed foods because they've been blanched and flash frozen. But this is a perfect example of how processing can be beneficial. Fruits and vegetables are picked at their peak ripeness and then quickly frozen, which actually locks in their vitamins and minerals. In some cases, frozen produce can even have a higher concentration of certain nutrients than the fresh produce that has traveled for days or weeks to get to your grocery store, losing nutrients along the way. The convenience is undeniable. Having a bag of frozen broccoli, spinach, or mixed berries on hand means you can add a boost of nutrition to any meal in minutes. No washing, no chopping, just open the bag and go. It's a fantastic way to reduce food waste, as you only use what you need and the rest stays perfectly preserved in the freezer. Just make sure you're buying plain frozen fruits and vegetables. Avoid the ones that come pre-packaged in sauces, syrups, or butters, as these can add a lot of unnecessary fat, sugar, and sodium. Stick to the basics, and the freezer aisle becomes your best friend for healthy eating. So there you have it, 8 ultra-processed foods that can actually be good for you. The main takeaway here isn't that all processed foods are suddenly healthy. It's that we need to be more discerning. By making smart, informed choices, you can use the convenience of processed foods to support, not sabotage, your heart health and overall wellness. It's about understanding the nuances and not viewing food in black and white terms of good versus bad. A balanced diet has room for these kinds of convenient, nutrient-dense options. The best tool you have at your disposal is knowledge. Get into the habit of reading the nutrition facts panel and the ingredient list before you put something in your cart. As a general rule, opt for products with shorter ingredient lists and recognizable components. Look for lower sodium, minimal added sugars, and higher fiber content. These small acts of diligence can have a massive impact on the quality of your diet and, by extension, your long-term health. Don't let the fear-mongering around the term ultra-processed scare you away from what can be very helpful and healthy foods. Ultimately, building a healthy lifestyle is about creating sustainable habits. For most of us, that means finding a middle ground that includes some processed foods. By choosing wisely, you can save time, reduce stress around meal prep, and still provide your body with the incredible nutrients it needs to thrive. I hope this video helped clear up some confusion and empowered you to navigate the grocery store with more confidence. What are some of your go-to healthy processed foods? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and stay healthy.